There was a lot of Nazi Party members after World War II who committed war crimes. The International Law Commission and United Nations saw it was vital that they created the Nuremberg Principles to ensure all of these guilty individuals did not escape punishment. To put it briefly, the Nuremberg Principles basically state that anybody who commits a war crime is, well, a war criminal. And most importantly, anybody who commits a war crime is subject to penalty at an international level with international law. And internal laws of a country cannot impede or override this international law. Essentially meaning that if you were a Nazi general who committed a war crime, the German government could not change their local laws to get you off of the hook for this war crime, because the war crime or international law supersedes the national law. And on top of this, the Nuremberg Principles also ensured that political status did not relieve the war criminal of their punishment, which is important. But yeah, that's basically the Nuremberg Principles, just ensuring that the laws were actually taken seriously and enforced. But back to the Geneva Conventions. The first Geneva Convention was actually introduced, like I mentioned, in 1864, and was specifically aimed at creating rules around the treatment of sick and wounded armed forces on the battlefield. The second Geneva Convention actually replaced the Hague Convention of 1907, and essentially contained everything from the first Geneva Convention and the Hague Conventions. The third Geneva Convention was focused on the treatment of war prisoners and replaced the previous Geneva Convention, and the fourth and final Geneva Convention is the one we're discussing now, which is basically the all-encompassing Geneva Convention. Now, with all of this being said, before I say Geneva Convention for the millionth time, let me explain some of the newest additions introduced with the Geneva Conventions. Once again, this list includes introductions from all of the Geneva Conventions, dating from the 1860s to the 1940s.